老师们都说，你把头发放过去。
所以咱们就看咱们上课的时候练一起。
你开录屏了对吧？是 ，OK， 那我们可以开始了。Okay, so our dear all distinguished participants, so this afternoon, the Chinese Frontier Construction Technology 2022 GXPC serial lecture is starting now. And welcome to join this serial lecture. We've already, and today the lecture is session 3, Landscape Design Workshop, Modern and Green Future. 今天是中国建筑技术前沿2022广西建设职业技术学院系列讲座第4场园林设计工作坊，助力环保未来。So this serial lecture is conducted by Guangxi Polytechnic of Construction and China ASEAN Construction Talent Training Base. So we've already held the session 1 and session 2 in the past couple of weeks. Hope you have learned the valuable knowledge as you expect. And today is the first day of landscape design workshop, and it will be a 4-day learning. After each day learning, through filling the attendance form, you will receive a certificate. So for this part, let me introduce the participant from Guangxi Polytechnic of Construction. 那么接下来呢，请由许我来介绍各位领导及教授团队，来自广西建设职业技术学院，然后领导和老师们就一会儿就对着摄像头挥挥手就可以了。Okay, so the first one is Associate Professor Qiu Lan, Party Security of School of Architecture and Planning. And Associate Professor Mr. Liu Jixiao, Deputy Dean of School of Architecture and Planning. Senior Engineering Ms. Jiang Ping, Deputy Dean of School of Architecture and Planning. Senior Engineer Ms. Yi Min, Discipline Leader of School of Architecture and Planning. And our lecturer from GXPC, Associate Professor Jiang Hui, School of Architecture and Planning. And lecturer Ms. Zhu Qiumin from School of Architecture and Planning. Lecturer Ms. Zhang Ru from School of Architecture and Planning. Lecturer Ms. Zeng Zifei from School of Architecture and Planning. And lecturer Ms. Shao Chenyang, School of Architecture and Planning. Welcome. And now let's welcome Associate Professor Liu Jixiao to give us remark.
好，先生们、女士们，下午好。
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone.
我很荣幸来到这里，给大家做一个简短的发言。我是广西建设职业技术学院建筑与规划学院的副院长。首先感谢大家参加中国建筑技术前沿2022年广西建设职业技术学院系列讲座。今天是第3期，主题是园林设计工作坊，助力环保未来。
It's my honor to be here and give you a short speech. And I am the Vice President of the School of Architecture Planning of Guangxi Politic of the Construction. Thank you for attending a 2022 lecture series of Guangxi Politic of Construction. The 14th of the Chinese construction technology today is a third period landscape design workshop, changing the future of environmental attention.
广西建设职业技术学院是中国特色高水平高职学院和专业建设计划建设单位，是广西唯一一所公办建设类高职院校。学校占地面积1818亩，全日制在校学生2万余人，教职员工900余人，设有9个2级学院、3个中心、3个设计院。
So the Guangxi Political of the Construction is high-level vocational school with Chinese characteristic and a professional construction planning school. It is the only public construction vocational college in Guangxi. The school covers an area of the 1,212 square kilometer. There are more than 20,000 full-time students and more than 900 faculty members. Our college has 9 secondary colleges, 3 centers, and 3 design institutes.
广西建设职业技术学院于2021年与柬埔寨国家技术培训学院共同建立了中国东盟建筑人才培训基地。基地目标是成为中国与东盟之间建筑职业教育国际合作的前沿阵地，开展一系列实质性建筑职业教育交流与合作，携手培养具备国际视野的建筑类设计人才，为区域经济建设、民生改善提供人才支撑，促进民心相通，实现共同发展。
At the end of the 2021 Guangxi Politic of the Construction and Cambodia (MTTI) jointly established the Chinese Asians Training Architectural Talents Base. The goal of the base is to become the forefront of international cooperation in architectural vocation education between China and ASEAN to carry out a series of substantive exchange and cooperation in architectural vocational education to train architectural professionals with the international vision to provide a talent support for region economic construction and improvement of people livelihood to promote the friendly exchange between the people and achieve common development.
本次园林设计工坊将由我院4位风景园林教师共同完成。整个课程体系从小尺度的雨水景观花园到大尺度的绿道规划设计，从传统岭南园林的营造智慧到现代商业景观营造手法，从空间维度到时间维度都选取了典型的案例，与大家进行交流分享。希望通过本次学习，加深同学们对风景园林学科领域的理解，也希望同学们在学习过程中多学多问，提升自己。
This landscape workshop will be jointly completed by 4 landscape architecture teachers in our college. The whole curriculum system is from the small-scale green garden landscape design to the larger-scale green wall planning and design. From the architectural wisdom of the traditional Lingnan garden to modern commercial landscape construction techniques, typical cases are selected from the space dimension to temporal dimension to share with you. I hope that through this study, students can deep their understanding of landscape architecture, and I hope that students can learn more and ask more questions in learning process to improve themselves.
最后，欢迎大家在疫情后来到广西建设职业技术学院。
So finally, welcome everyone to Guangxi and Guangxi Politic of the construction after epidemic.
好，谢谢大家。
Thank you, everyone.
好的，谢谢刘副院长。Thank you, Associate Professor Liu Jixiao. And next, let's welcome Mr. Shao to give us a brief introduction to the School of Architecture and Planning. Wait a minute, I will end the screen sharing.
So right now, let me introduce our college. So this is Guangxi Political of Construction. So we are, this is, and so part one is a college introduction. So this is our address. We are in the Lowen Avenue, Xixiangtang district in Nanning and Guangxi. So this is our campus. So everyone can see this campus. And number one, so the picture one is a training building. So number two is a teaching building. And the number three is auditorium. Number four is a gymnasium. So this is our college introduction. So everyone can see this is, so we have the four major, so architecture, design, landscape, design, and landscape engineering and urban planning. And this is our teacher and our team. And everyone can see we have the very high quality teacher team. So everyone can see. And this is the professional certification. So number four is this is our professional future. And we also have the 3D model experience and application center. And we have the BEAM technology application center. Also, we have the Vision Simulate Teaching Research and Development Center and the Project Design Achievement Training Room. And the part two is a professional profile. So we have the, just I say, we have the four major. The one is urban and region planning and architectural design and the landscape architecture design. Finally, is a landscape engineering technology. And this is a specific information and everyone can see that. So part three is honors and achievement. Everyone can see we are doing the essays and patents and project and works. And this is my so the main achievement. And we also so especially in the 2000 years, we won the National Vocational College Skill Competition. We got the one second class prize and the third prize. So. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you for the brief introduction of School of Architecture and Planning. And now, could you please turn on your camera? We can have an online group photo together, and then the class will be started soon. Dear all participants, could you please turn on your camera? We have the group photo together. 我们现在邀请他们进入一个线上合影，然后我正在邀请他们打开摄像头。然后我们工作人员准备一下。Look， 你把那个拉过来一点，对，我们可以看到更多的学生。So I will give you 1 minute to turn on your camera. Please turn on your camera and we can have the group photo with the GXPC leaders. And the class will be started soon. Thank you. OK， 阿丽莎截图哦。OK， 然后对领导们可以跟摄像头合挥手。Now I will count 3, 2, 1, and please smile. OK, 3, 2, 1, smile. 来，再回一次。3, 2, 1, smile. OK, one more, one more. 稍等一下，我给出第一个评论。OK, one more. 3, 2, 1, smile. OK, thank you, thank you. And we need some time to adjust the device, and you can take a short break. We will come back in like 3 minutes. OK? 可以了，我们的那个开班仪式结束了，感谢各位领导的参加。
先会上课了。对啊。谢谢，辛苦了。
先睡觉，你慢走。已经弄好了是吗？方老师，周四见。你要回去了是吗？你不是要帮翻译？
没有，我是帮忙。
院长。 嗨，没事没事，夏老师别管。Okay, so the class is about to start. Miss Jiang Hui is ready now. Let's invite her to share the screen. 老师，您可以共享屏幕了。然后开启摄像头，开启这个，对，有点黑，快黑一点。蛮黑的，说的有点悲惨。后面这个结束掉。Look， 你先拍一张照片吧，先拍，对，就要这个背景，然后拍一张讲课的照片。就共享这个，对的是吧？对，共享桌面，桌面，我怎么隐藏？这样子吗？隐藏缩小可以吗？这个窗口这个，哪个？这个，字幕可不可以？没发现下面有一行小小的字幕？全理。那包了影响颜值。可以开始了吗？可以了。那边这样就已经开始了，是吗？是你开始吧。Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm Jiang Hui, from School of Architecture and Planning, Guangxi Collective of Construction. It's my honor to speak here. The topic of today's class is rain gardens. I will explain from the following 4 parts. The first part is the concept, analysis of rain gardens. The second part is the qualification and functions of rain gardens. The third part is the design and construction points of rain gardens. In the fourth part, I will share some practical cases of rain garden projects in China. Firstly, let's have an understanding on concepts related to rain gardens. We all know that rainwater is originally a part of nature's water cycle. Rainwater can play a role in regulating and supplementing regional water resources and retrenching groundwater resources. However, the unbalanced development caused by rapid urbanization, which emphasize on the part above the ground and overlooking that of below,
has led to the prominent problem of urban flooding caused by abundant rainfall. Whenever there is heavy or continuous precipitation, the amount of rainfall often exceeds the city's drainage capacity, resulting in waterlogging hazards within the city. In many urban environments today, rainwater is often not used efficiently and cause disasters instead. In recent years, waterlogging after raining has regularly evolved into a chronic disease in many large and medium cities. In view of the shortage of water resources, runoff pollution and urban floods caused by rainwater, the technology of rainwater collection, treatment, and comprehensive utilization has become an urgent problem to be solved. Before we analyze rain gardens, let's talk about the following related concepts. The first concept is sustainable landscape concept. In contemporary landscape design concepts, there is a growing awareness of building and connection between humans and nature. Sustainable landscape are places that strike a balance between natural reality and modern technology, promoting and emphasizing place restoration, environmental responsibility, and social development. There is a wide range of sustainable landscape concepts, such as the three loads concepts of low input, low impact developments, and low maintenance, and the concept of smart city constructions. There are 6 main components of a substation landscape, including rain path, vertical, plants, material, function, and aesthetics. The second concept is low impact development. Low impact development refers to the use of source, decentralized measures to maintain the pre-development hydrological characteristic of the site during development. Here, I have listed 21 LED facilities. The ranking list 21. The ranking order is to determined by the strength of the source functions, with the weakness being large size pipes and the strongest being artificial well lamps. And the third concept is the sponge city. Sponge city is a generation of urban stormwater management concept. It means that cities can be like sponges that have good elastic in terms of depending to environmental changes and responding to natural disasters caused by rainwater, which can also be called water elastic cities. The international terminology is low impact development stormwater system construction. When it rains, water is absorbed, stored, infiltration, and purified. And when needed, the stormwater is released and used. The core of sponge city is the construction of water ecological infrastructure from ecosystem service through cross-scale construction and the combination of multiple types of species technologies. To build a sponge city, we must first reverse the concept. The traditional urban construction models has harder roads everywhere. Whenever there is heavy rain, the drainage mainly rely on gray facilities, such as pipe and pumping stations. The main planning and design concepts are wild removal and centralized control, which often resulted in sudden changes in drought and floods. And building a sponge city is not replacing a traditional drainage system with a new one. Rather, it relies the burns on the traditional drainage system and maximize the role of the city itself. It is process of sponge city construction, naturally precipitation, surface water, and groundwater would be systematically integrate. It would coordinate all aspects of water recycling, such as water supply and drainage, and consider its complexity and long-term nature. According to the Sponge City Construction Technology Guide, urban construction will emphasize the use of grass tanch, thin pitch tile, rain garden, sunken green space, and other green measures to organize drain. The main planning and design concepts is low drainage and slow release, and source dependent control, which not only avoid flooding, but also efficiently collect water. And the concept of rain garden was first introduced in 1990 by rainforest experts in Maryland, the United States. The objective is to manage stormwater runoff in cities, especially in imperceptive areas by mimicking nature in future systems. Subsequently, this concept quickly attract more and more people's attention with the development of home garden landscape. Unlike other environmental factors that challenge us, rain gardens changes the way we live, such as lowering our daily cost of living and making us more aware of how we can benefit the environment. In addition to making our environment more beautiful, rain garden also bring a series of benefits to our lives. Rain garden has been widely accepted because of its important role in stormwater management and ecological protection, and has been greatly promoted in China, United States, some European countries, and other places with excellent achievements in recent years. Rain gardens use landscape treatment methods so that plants and materials become the main character of the garden, and can realize rainwater resource management is the main force in building sponge city. Okay, next, I'll talk about what a rain garden is. Rain garden is an important technical measure in low-impact development system. The principle of rainwater is used to filter and purify rainwater through the intersection of plants and infiltration of soil in order to achieve the effect of reducing the volume of rainwater runoff. Narrowly defined, rain gardens are only limits in scales and simple structure of shallow concave green space, suitable for neighborhood or private house greening. In broader sense, rain garden can include sunken landscape facilities with the ability to store and purify stormwater runoff. So, for example, the picture shows the Edinburgh Rain Garden in Melbourne. The use of biological purification means to stem the runoff while regulating the storm, provide a large amount of irrigation water to the park where it is located. It provides treated irrigation rainwater to surrounding vegetation such as trees and sports areas, solving undue crisis of local drinking and irrigation water. There are various water features and corresponding facilities in the garden. These facilities all help to store rainwater, water purification and diversion of rainwater to desired areas through diversion pipes. The water intermediate are the roots of various vegetation are naturally purified. The concept of rain garden is very broad and encompass all landscaping that maximize the capture, convenience and conversion of nature precipitation. The entire garden becomes a rain garden. Each element is a component of a rain garden, and a large garden contains smaller rain gardens. Rain gardens have many forms of water features, each still water or moving water. Sponge cities and rain gardens are top-down theory promotion and bottom-up design practice. The second part, let's talk about some qualification and functions of gardens, of rain gardens. I will explain from the following 4 parts, including the types of rain garden, construction of rain gardens, how rain garden works, the function of rain garden, and the difference between rain garden and ordinary gardens. There are 2 main types of rain gardens. One is controlled rainwater for the purpose of flooding rain gardens. Its structure is relatively simple, mainly to play a purpose of retention and infiltration of rainwater. It is generally used in a territory with the better environment and lighter rainwater pollution, such as residential areas. The other is a rain garden for the purpose of reducing runoff pollution. This type of rain garden not only retains the infiltrates water, but also serves the purified water. It is suitable for geographical areas with relatively serious environmental pollution such as urban center, parking lot, and etc. The removal of pollutants from stormwater requires close design in soil proportion, plant section, and structure, and substrate structure. Yeah. Next, let's talk about take a look at the structure of the rain garden. This is the structure of the rain garden. Rain garden is generally constructed from the inside out as the gravel layer, a sand layer, and a planting soil layer, a mulch layer, and a water storage layer. At the same time, there are periphery to pipes to collect rainwater and overflow pipes to exclude water that exceeds and decides the capacity. Depending on the specific requirement of the rain garden, both impermeable or non-impermeable practice can be used. So, how does a rain garden work? In practice, rain gardens take the following forms, including grass, well, second green space, and tree palms. Many rain gardens have surface runoff in them, but they don't just like a water feature. This is because there is no precipitation in the area for a long time. The ornamental nature of such a niche cannot be guaranteed when there is no water flow. Therefore, the design will take into account the landscape in times of drought. Next, let's look at the structure. Look at the functions. Look at the function of rain garden. Rain gardens have the following 6 main functions. There are water infiltration, water retention, water storage, water purification, water used, and drainage. Next, I'll talk about what's exactly the differences between a regular garden and a rain garden. In terms of the purpose of construction, a regular garden refers to a place where flowers and trees are planted for play and rest. Rain gardens are naturally occurring or artificial cascading shallow depression of green space. It is used to collect and absorb rainwater from the roof or ground, and this is ecological sustainable rainwater control and stormwater utilization facilities. In terms of structure, there are also differences between regular gardens and rain gardens. Regular gardens generally have only a planting soil layer and a vegetation layer, just with both here. In the contrast, the construction of rain garden is more complex and it contains 6 structures, such as a gravel layer, sand layer, artificial fill layer, planting layer, and planting soil layer, over cover layer, and so on. And also the plant selection for the two are different. Regular gardens are mainly ornamental indoors that plants based on the local climates, payments, and wishes of the homeowner. And the plants for rain gardens need to be selected for their well-developed root systems, strong growth, and resilience. Okay, let's begin the third part. The third part is rain garden design and construction points. To carry out the design of rain garden, mainly need to follow the following 4 design principles, including including the principle of low impact, function first, landscape beauty, and safety. And the most important one, I think, is the safety in principle. Regarding the design points of rain gardens, there are 5 main points to know as the follows. The first point is to pay attention to the site selection. Before construction, rain gardens should be investigated in the current conditions around the site so as not to affect the surrounding urban facilities. For example, in many residential rainwater harvesting system, the setting of rain garden requires a minimum distance of 3 meters from the building to avoid soaking the foundation. The second point requires attention to the catchment area. The site should have a certain catchment area which can collect sufficient amount of rainwater. For example, urban spaces such as urban roads, urban squares, and low-lying lands can play a role of rainwater control and utilization. The third point is that the design of rain gardens also need corresponding suitability evaluation. The site must be assessed for suitability before planning. The permeability of soil on the site should be evaluated when setting a site for a rain garden. If the permeability of soil is poor, prolonged waterlogging can occur. This is demonstrated to plant growth and at the same time tends to breed mosquitoes and pests, which negatively affect the urban environment. The fourth point is that there needs to be enough ground or underground space. The size of the rain garden will be designed based on a water balance analysis within the site. And the fifth point is the use of maintenance of rain gardens also have certain requirements on the surrounding environment. As we mentioned earlier, the plant selection for a rain garden is different from that of the regular garden. So, was expert of the plant selection for rain gardens need to be taken into account. Specifically, plant selection for rain gardens requires attention to the following 4 key points. First, give preference to native plants. Native plants are well adapted to local climate conditions, soil conditions, and the surrounding environment, and can exhibit the goods a good determination ability, and give the garden landscape a strong local character. Second, use plants with well-developed root systems, large systems and leaves, and strong purification ability. The third, use plants that are both flood tolerant and drought resistant. Because the amount of water is a rain garden is closely related to rainfall. There are alternating periods of poor and dry water. So the plants planted must be both adapt to the aquatic environments and have some drought tolerance. Fourth, choose plants that can be planted with each other. The reasonable combination of different plants can improve a purification ability of water bodies. Before we begin the part 4, let's take a 5-minute break. After 5 minutes, I will then introduce you to some rain garden design projects. Join us to learn about China's practice in rain garden construction.
Okay, so let's take a short break. We will come back in 3:55. Yeah. Oh, it's Beijing time 3:55. Please adjust the time to your time zone. 哎，是我们刚刚也想说，怎么有这个蓝色的线？
Hello, Miss. Hello. Hello, GPC.
有人说话。
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Miss. I'm saying here I'm from Simotit.
Yes.
You see me?
Wait a minute. 有人是我们卡了吗？哎，老师，你的鼠标我见不到哎。
Jiang
这个声音怎么放大呀？Yes, please. Do you have any question?
Yes, I just told you about my center that I come from my Simotit. Yeah, because my boss, Mr. Mara, that he cannot join, so he gave me to join your training. Only
Oh, okay.
40 to 70. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because today is my computer is problem. I to join too late, so I need to tell you about my my name and my duty in my center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay. I got it.
writing with Mr. Mara in the sky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you never to see me. But I have Miss Echo know me.
Yeah.
Because before I was covered with Mr. Colling, but right now Mr. Colling stopped volunteer that you are a new member in the go study.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, just no problem. I don't have any question, so I just told you about my name and you know me,
Oh,
and
okay.
easy to cooperate with you and other.
So, can I call you Mr. Sen
Sing
Hak?
ha.
Oh, Sen Hak.
Yeah,
Okay.
name yeah.
Sen Hak, Mr. Sen Hak.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Sorry, today I come late. Sorry.
Okay. I thought there are any problem. Okay, I just want to say hello to you.
Welcome. I know that just I can writing in Zoom chat. And you see me about my name and my Zoom. You
Mm-hmm.
see, saying ha simultit.
Mm-hmm. Simultan. Yeah.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
It's my center.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
GoStudy has already cooperated with Simultan a lot. Yeah,
But,
I know it.
for the all the training when I do with Miss Echo before we will starting about the training we need to introduction some from my simultaneous also
Mm-hmm.
we need to control together about our training because Mr. Mara that promote in the WhatsApp group about the network about the training landscape design this my center need to control to join with the training also. Right now, I have two person to join this training with Mr. Vati. He is officer in education of training. Hello, Mr. Vati.
Hey, hello.
Hello. And this is Let
Hello,
Me
good
Can Go
afternoon.
Study.
Yeah,
Hello,
good
nice to
afternoon,
meet
Miss
you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mrs. Jiang Hui, right?
Mm.
Ching
Okay.
Hoi.
Yeah, Jiang Hui. Okay. And good afternoon to everyone. My name is Nhờ Thi. Yes, I'm an officer at technical and educational training office in Simotet of Cambodia. Okay. So I brothers Chunha and I attend here to help and control the training for this afternoon. Okay. So thank you for this. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming and thank you for support this event. Thank you, Simultat.
Yeah, thank you. So right now, this time is the break. I can say something with you. Okay, Miss Jiangsu. I can call you Jiangsu, right?
It's our lecture is Jiang Hui.
Jiang Hui.
Yeah, Miss Jiang Hui. I'm not Jiang Hui, I'm Stephanie, and the lecture is Jiang Hui.
Literature is Jiang Hui.
Yeah, the lecture from GXPC. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, her topic is the Ray Garden.
Because tomorrow we will have a training 1 hour. The same time. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, oh yeah, tomorrow is the same time, and the topic is greenway planning. Yeah, it will be delivered by another lecturer. Yeah.
So before we will start training tomorrow, so please give opportunity to introduction my center. 2 minutes and 3 minutes for the presentation. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget call me about the introduction my center to all participants in the present right now about my center in Cambodia.
老师，你这个音量键在哪调？
Jiang Hui.
Yes, 音量键. Wait a minute, I need to turn up my volume. It's kind of low. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, it's good now.
Okay. When we can start again about our training. 50 minutes for break.
到55分结束.
Yeah.
Yeah. 休息时间是15分钟吗？5分钟吗？Oh, 5 minutes. Yeah, our break time is 5 minutes. I think it's about to restart. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay, see you later. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for
Okay,
coming.
okay, thank you. Okay.
来吧，老师。
它上面有划线，就是
对，老师也说有那个划线就很，不知道是电脑的原因吧？对，你看你的电脑上也有。
为什么呢？因为如果是我操作它，应该
我那我给你，等一下我给你
退出来看能不能。
看一下停止共享。老师你坐过来吧。
哦。
一会儿你要共享视频什么的，我再帮你操作好了。对，这样就不会有划线了，因为它只共享了这个 PPT。
哦，行，
好，您来吧。
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the class. Hello. Next, I will mainly introduce you to the following. Oh, sorry. And this. Okay. Let's begin the 4 parts. The 4 parts I will introduce you the following 4 rain garden projects in China. This include the Albel's Rain Garden and Shanghai Hotan Park and Jinhua Yanweizhou Park and the Chinle National Urban Wetland Park. These 4 parts. These 4 parks. The first, okay, that's been the first. The first rain garden project presented to you is Albel Rain Garden. The design firm is the Albel United Design Agency. The Albel United Design Agency was established in 2006 with headquarters in Beijing and branches in Shenzhen and Shanghai. It is an innovational landscape design enterprise with Class 5 qualification of landscape garden engineering design in China and National High-Tech Enterprise qualification. The project introduced today, it is based located in 768 Creative Park. The park was formerly known as Dahua Electronic Industryman Factory. It was built in 1950s, designed by original Soviet designers, and it's one of the few surviving old industrial site. In 2009, it was transformed into a gathering place for cultural and creative enterprise, focusing on knowledge innovation, scientific research and development, and design creativity. Look at these 2 pictures. These 2 pictures shows the original environment of the project site before it underwent rainwater renovation. The site is rather climate and shortage ridden. The area of Albel's rain garden is about 100 square meters, and it took half a year from the idea burns to complete the construction. And the design concept is rain garden is based on source control and delay impact loading. The design team wanted to create a rainwater shortage dive, and that would be compatible with the nature geographical conditions, and thus enable their resourceful management of rainwater. At the same time, the use of landscape treatment means so that plants and materials become the main character of garden, create an artistic rainwater bank. The designers hope that this rain garden will have a high ornamental value in addition to the rainwater storage function. At the same time, it is also a basic unit for the solving urban rainwater flooding problems and building sponge cities. Let's see the pictures. This picture below shows the rain system of the Elbow Rain Garden. Roof rainwater. You can see the roof rainwater here. Yeah, the roof rainwater enters the abandoned flow tank through the downpipe after preliminaries sedimentation. Yes, the sedimentation. They in turn the circular water feature on one part and pass through layer of terrace in the other parts. After detention, purification, and infiltration, the runoff portion gains the longest line of travel distance and sinks into the central sunken garden. When the volume of rainwater exceeds the desired capacity, the excess rainwater will in turn the underground storage tank through the overflow device. It is then pumped back to the second terrace by the rain for recycling and purification, or it can also be used for plant watering or car washing. The rainwater inside the sites dissipate itself. In the process of construction, the second garden and upper terrace achieve Earth's balance and reduce the cost of the outbound transportation. Look at this picture. The picture shows is the floor plan of the rain garden. As seen in the picture, the rain garden is designed with facilities such as observation wells. You can see where is observation well is number 3. Number 3 is here. Number 3. Okay, and the concrete pumps. You can see the concrete pumps is number 4. Number 4 is concrete pump. Yes, it's here. It's here. And the steel perf pump. Okay, steel perf pump is number 5. Is here. It's here. And the planning terrace is here. Number 7. Okay, and other things. The construction of the rain garden was also accomplished through contents fictions between the designer and the builder, as well as several revisions. The rain garden managed the rainwater on the roof of the building, and the surrounding sites become a true rainwater bank. This rain garden has 5 distinctive features: rainwater path, terrains, low maintenance plants, engineering efficient materials, and bright colors. And in a design, focus on the landscape treatment of the stormwater facilities. For example, the low impact material fair face concrete thick presents a nature and friendly texture. And the use function of the space is also a key consideration. The wheel platform facilities, close access and observation of the rain garden, and recycle water features. allowing rainwater facilities to be approachable and interactive. This was evident after the completion of the platform, when rain garden seekers often appeared. It has become the base for the rain garden education and promotion. Also, the design scale of water scale is suitable, and utilization of purified rainwater becomes its highlight, and the gurgling sound of the water makes people feel relaxed and peaceful. In the afternoon, it has become an important place for employees to relax and communicate. At the same time, it also attracts children to play and play in the water. The three low impact, low cost, low maintenance landscapes are evident everywhere in this rain garden, whether it is spring, summer, fall, or winter. The gardens are very beautiful all year round. During and after the construction of the rain garden, the design team collects rainwater from different locations in the garden and conduct long-term records and comprehensive analysis based on the daily rainfall and rain patterns. Although low maintenance gardens still require regular maintenance of plants and rainwater system to ensure that rainwater gardens perform their role of purifying and collecting rainwater. This is the end of the first. Okay, let's begin the second. The next project I will introduce to you is Shanghai Hotan Park. The project is located in Expo 2010 Park in Pudong, Shanghai, and China. This project was awarded 2010's American Society of Landscape Architect Design Excellence Awards. And the design company for this project is Beijing Tourism Planning and Design Company. Tourism was founded by Dr. and Professor Yukong Jiang in 1998, and the company is certificate first level design institute by Chinese government. The project built on the brown field of the former industrial site. Hotan Park is a generative living state on Shanghai's Huangpu riverfront. The parks constructed wetlands, ecological flood control, reclaim industrial structures and materials. The urban agriculture and integrate components of an overall restorative design strategy to treat pollutant river water and recover the degraded waterfronts in an aesthetically pleasing way. Hotan Park is one of the corn green place landscape of Shanghai Expo 2010. It is not only a green space for the World Expo in Shanghai in 2010, but also it is a public green space for Shanghai in the future. The site covers a total area of 14 hectares. It was originally the location of the steel plant in the Hotan ship repair plant. The design began in early 2007, and it was completed in October 2009, and will be officially opened in May 2010 as a public space design along the Huangpu River. The site presents many challenges to the design. Let's see the first challenge. The first challenge is the severe soil and water pollution. The site was originally an industrial brownfield with industrial soil waste and construction waste everywhere, and it was deeply buried. Soil pollutants is serious too. In particular, the water of Huangpu River is seriously polluted, and it is inferior to Class 5 water. The original abandoned land of the site was invaded by alien species, creating a buried scene. How to transform the habitats and create a safe and healthy public space is the first challenge facing the design. And the second challenge was to improve flood control. The extinct concrete flood wall was designed to protect against 1,000-year floods event with a top elevation of 6.7 meters, but it is rigid and lifeless. The 2.1 meters daily tails fluctuation creates a muddy and littered shoreline, and it's currently inaccessible to the public. A conventional retaining wall would continue to limit accessibility and preclude habitats creation along the water's edge. So an alternative flood control design proposed was necessary. How to meet the flood control requirements and design a waterfront and ecological riverside public space is the second biggest challenge facing the design. And the third challenge was the site itself. The area is long and narrow, located between the Huangpu River and the urban expressway with water frontage is over 1.7 kilometers in length, but average only 30 to 80 meters in width. Here, let's look at our design strategy. Regenerative design strategies used to transform the site into a living system that offer comprehensive ecological service, include food production, flood, water treatment, and habitat creation combined in an educational and aesthetic form. The site is destined to be an innovative demonstration of the ecological culture of the 2010 expert. Through the center of the park, a layer construction wetlands was designed to treat contaminated water from the Huangpu River. Cascade and terrace was used to oxygenate the nutrient-rich water, remove and retain nutrients, and reduce suspend sediments while creating plant water features. different species of wetland plants were selected and decided to absorb different pollutants from the water. Field testing indicates that 2,400 cubic meters per day of water can be treated from lower grade 5 to grade 3. The treated water can be used safely throughout the aquifer for non-propulsion uses and save $500,000 US in comprehensive risk conventional water treatment. And the wetland also acts in flood protection buffer between the 20 and 1,000 year floods control levee. Provide opportunities for creations, education, and research. The wetlands alleviates the elevations difference between the city. Okay, you can see this is the terrain design of the wetland. The terrain design of the wetlands elevate the elevation differences between the city and the river safety, reconnecting people to the water's edge. Additionally, the extinct concrete floodward was replaced by a more habitat-friendly riprap that allows native species to grow along the riverbank while protecting the shorelines from erosion. And the second design strategy is memory and prophecy. It's memory and prophecy. Inspired by the fear of Chinese agricultural landscape, terrains was created to break down the 3 to 5 meters elevation change from the water's edge to the road, and to show the runoff the credit to stream in the construction wetland. Crops and wetland plants were selected to create an urban farm, allowing people to witness seasonal changes. It provides a premier educational opportunity for people to learn about agriculture and farming within the city. The terrains enrich the landscape along the wetland by creating the species that encourage visitors to enter the living systems through the field corridors and experience the agricultural landscape and wetlands firsthand. The industrial spirit of the site is celebrated through the reclamation of the industrial structure and materials. Shanghai is the birthplace of China's modern industrial and icon structures that remain on-site have been transformed into hanging gardens and overlook platforms. An ecological recovered landscape, urban agriculture, and industrial spirit are the 3 major layers of the park, woven together through a network of paths where visitors are educated about green infrastructure within a large restored recreational area. An ecological recovered landscape. Here. A narrow and long valley space is average in the park, which genicity solved the problem of flood control, opens and close with lengths of nearly 2 kilometers, during which a series of hydrophilic trails, bridge, platforms, and a network of tails passing through vegetation and design. The pedestrian network is composed of a main loop, a series of perpendicular roads bisect the wetlands and multitude of the footpaths lengths leading through the terrace. This network ensures seamless connections between the park and its surrounding, encouraging access within the site. Numerous platforms and enclosed containers are designed as nodes on the pedestrian network, including the hanging garden transformed from the factory structure and the landscape dock. Holton Park demonstrates a living system where ecological infrastructure can provide multiple services for society and nature, and new ecological water treatment and flood control methods. The post-industrial design demonstrates a unique productive landscape evoking the environments of past. And the future of the ecological civilization playing homepage of the new aesthetic base, low maintenance and high performance landscapes. Okay, finally, let's have a video to enjoy the scenery together after the project is completed. Due to the network reasons, the video playback may be a little laggy. Please bear with me. Okay, let's see. Nó nằm nhiều không? Cái thằng. Có nhiều. Xin cái thằng. Okay. Welcome back. Let's begin the third project. The third project I present to you is Yanweizhou Park in Jinhua in Zhejiang province in China. The design company is Touriscape also. Through an experimental project, Jinhua Yanweizhou Park focused on exploring how to befriend flood by creating adaptive living, adapted vegetation, and 100% permeable pavements designed to achieve ecological resilience in the landscape and floods flood-compatible constructed design. The experiment tests and extreme measures of bound cities as friends with floods. The Yanweizhou Park is located to the west of Dongxi Street, Jinhua City, where the Yiwu River and Wei River meet, located the subtropical region of eastern China. Jinhua suffers from a strong marine monsoon climate with distinct dry and rainy seasons, and the rainy season is often disturbed by floods. A large number of floodplains have been encircled and developed. The narrowing of river surface also makes the destructive power of the flood more powerful. The site condition posed 4 major challenges to the landscape architects. First, how can the remaining patch of the riparian habitats be preserved while providing amenities to the residents to the dense urban center? Second, what approach to flood control should be used? The third, how can be integrated into the surrounding environment to create a cohesive landscape and provide a unique experience for visitors? Finally, the most importantly, how can be separate city districts be connected to the nature riparian landscape to strengthen the community and cultural identity of the city of Jinhua? The design strategy for this project is to befriend the flood with the following 3 main strategies proposed. The first adaptive strategy was to make full use of the extinct riparian sands recourse with minimal intervention. This is why the extinct microterrane and natural vegetation are preserved, allowing diverse habitats to evolve through time. The biodiversity of the area was adapted and enhanced through the addition of the native wetland species. And the second strategy is water resilience, terrain planning design. Due to this monsoon climate, Jinhua suffers from annual flooding. For a long time, the strategy to control the flood was to build stronger and taller concrete flood walls. This was along the riverbank and riparian floodplain service the intimate relationship between the city, the vegetation, and the water, while ultimately exacerbate the destructive force, the annual flood. The local water conservation department has built 2 flood control dike with 20-year occurrence and 50-year occurrence in some sections of the Yanweizhou respectively. This flood wall will create dry parkland above the water, but destroy the large and dynamic wetland ecosystem. Therefore, the landscape architect decided a contrasting solution and convinced the city authority to stop the construction of the concrete flood wall and to demolish others. Instead, the Yanweizhou projects make friends with flooding by using a cotton field strategy to balance earthwork and creating a water resilience terrace water river embankments. That is covered with flood-adapt native vegetation. This measure not only increased the flood section of the river, but also slowed down the speed of the water flow. It also relieved the pressure of the flood control on the city side of the opposite bank. And it also improved the hydro facility of the park's hydrant water influence. Valuable pedestrian paths and pavilions are integrated with the planning terrace, which will be closed to the public during the short period of flooding. The flood-free fertile fields that is opposite over the terrace and enrich a growing condition for tall grasses that are native to the riparian habitats. Therefore, no irrigation or fertilization is required at any time of the year. The terrace embankments will also treatment and filtrate the stormwater from the pavement above. From the pictures on the right, we can see the difference between before and after flood. Even when flooding comes, it has little impact on the entire main bridge and the higher ground area of the park. In addition to the terrace river embankments, the inland area is entirely permeable in order to create a water-resilient landscape through the extensive use of gravel, that is reused material from the site. The gravel is used for a pedestrian area, and the circle biowell are integrated with three planters. Permeable concrete pavement is used for vehicular access routes and parking lots. The third strategy is resilience pedestrian bridge connect city and nature. A pedestrian bridge snags across the two rivers, linking the parks along the riverbank in both the southern and northern city districts. Connecting the city with the newly constructed Yanweizhou Park within the river. Look at this is the bridge. And the bridge design was inspired by the local tradition of dragon dancing during the spring festival. Like the branch dragon in the annual celebration, the bench dragon bridge symbolized not only a form of celebration practice in Jinghua area, but it is a bond that stresses the culture and social identity that is unique to these areas. As water resilience in infrastructure, the new bridge is elevated above the 200-year flood level, while the reps connecting the riparian wetland park can be submerged during the 20-year and larger floods. Flood water covered the park for a very short period of time. The bridge also covered both the preserved patch of the riparian wetlands and allowed visitors intimate connecting to the nature within the city. The landscape architect designed the bridge to reinforce the festive vernacular tradition, but also as the art for the bold and colorful combination of bright red and yellow tones. They are strengthened by the night lighting. You can see these pictures. It is the night of the nightlight scene. And the bridge is composed of the steel structure with fiberglass headrails and the bamboo paving, altogether 700 meters long. It is truly a resilient bridge that is adaptive to river currents and the flood of people while blinding city and nature, future and past. The project is proven success after the park opened in May 2040. The average of 40,000 visitors use the park and the bridge every day. The local media claimed the whole city is crazy about one signal bridge, and now the Yanweizhou Park has created a new identity for the city of Jinhua. This project explored the desired approach of elastic landscape and realized the ecological elastic function of landscape through the design of ecological flood control embankments that is friendly to floods and design of vegetation suitable for drought and flood, and the design of 100 permeable pavement. Now, next, let's enjoy the scenery of Jinhua Yanweizhou Park's the video. After enjoying Jinhua Yanweizhou Park, then the fourth project I presented to you is Qinli National Urban Wetland Park in Harbin, the north of China, Heilongjiang Province, and China. The design firm for these projects is Turenscape. This is an experiment for the construction of the spawned city center And its exact observation using the mulberry fish ponds technology in Chinese agricultural tradition, the low-lying area of the city and simply fields and escative to create a green spawn city center. The result shows that with 10% of urban land, the problem of urban waterlogging can be solved. And at the same time, comprehensive ecosystem service can be achieved, including providing native habitats, urban recreations, and improving the quality and value of the city. Beginning in 2006, a new urban district, Qinli New Town, was planning to be developed at the east outskirts of Harbin City of North China. 32 million square meters of the building was be constructed in 30 to 50 years. More than 1/3 of a billion population are expected to live here. But flood and waterlogging are frequent in history for this area. Turanskaya was commissioned to design a park of 34.2 hectares of former wetland have been surrounding at four side by roads and dense developments. Water sources for this former wetland has been cut, and the wetland is under the threat of disappear. Turan's strategy is to transform the dying wetland into a urban stormwater park, which will provide multiple ecosystem service for the new company, and the result is a great success. The design solution include the use of simple cut and fuse technique to create the nucleus of ponds and muds surrounding the former wetland. The design perceived the main corner of the wetland, leading the intact for its natural evolutions and transformation. At the same time, a buffer zone for stormwater filtrates and purifications is created around the purified of the wetland. Stormwater from the newly built urban area is collected into the pipe around the circumference of the wetland, and then even distribute into the wetland after the filtered and dissipates through the ponds. Native wetland grass and meadows are growing in ponds of various steps, and the natural erosion process is initiated. Growth of native silver birch trees are grown on the mountains of various heights that create a dense forest setting. A network of paths are built into the pond and mountain range, allowing visitors to have a walking through forest experience. Platform and viewing towers are set in the ponds and on the mounds to allow visitors to have an immediate touch of the nature and have distinct view. A skyward link skater mounts allow surrounding residents to have above and wetlands in the copy experience. Through the transformation of the dying wetland, stormwater and frequent causes floods in the city become the positive environmental initiative for the city. The stormwater park now have been listed as a National Urban Wetland Park This project demonstrates the ecosystem service organized approach to urban park design. The showcase and water urbanist approach. Okay, let's see the video. Okay. Now this lesson is coming to an end. I would like to talk about the trends in rain gardens. Since 1980s, under the impact of the global environmental crisis and green movements, landscape architects around the world have been addressing the problem of disconnect between the modern landscape and ecology. They have carried out a wide range of ecological practice and explorations. The development of rainwater combined with landscape garden is a good precedent. Built from 1 square meter plus 1 square meter of the rain garden, a good wishes of spawned city can be realized. We believe that in the near future, more and more excellent cases will be presented in front of our eyes. Okay, this is all of the content of this lecture. Thank you for your listening. Okay, now is the next session is the answer the question. Anyone can type your questions on the public screen, or I need the translator. The translator will be back to you with the relevant answers. Any questions?
问题，然后就然后你想打公屏。
可以打公屏，可以说吗？也可以说吧。李老师，除了打公屏，也可以语音吗？最好打公屏。
没有，这怎么打到公屏？然后语言。
我说你也说一下，我刚刚说了，不懂听到了没？
Okay, so dear student, if you have any question, you can turn on your mic to ask, or you can type in the chat room so we can see your question clearly. Yes, our assistant will send the certificate link in the chat room later. But for this part, this is a Q&A session. So we are waiting for the question from your side. If you have any question, feel free to ask our lecturers.
看到吗？我从哪里看？
这边怎么点？
这个吗？这个吗？哦。Basically, rain garden can help reduce the flood problem in the city.
他说基本上这个雨水花园可以帮助那个减少这种
洪涝灾害
在城市。
可以，但是要看你怎么做。比如说我们的金华燕尾洲，它就是一个很好的案例，就是那个金华燕尾洲公园，它是可以帮助的。这个嘛，就是这个金华燕尾洲这个案例，实际上就是解决了以洪水为由嘛。
And okay, so I translate the first question is so basically a rain garden can help reduce the flood problem in the cities. So the Jiang answer is yes, but it depends on what kind of the rain garden. And for example, the good example is the Yanwei rain garden. So in these cases, which will help to reduce the flood problem in the city.
还可以回答，就是雨水花园，它只是海绵城市当中一个很小的部分。它能解决的虽然很少，但是如果是很多一个城市里面有很多雨水花园，它就能够解决大问题。
Okay, so the rainfall, so the garden and the rain garden. So if a city has many the rain garden, will help to reduce the flood problem. And so the rain garden is one of the garden in the city. 什么？应该说是？
应该是，如果用形容词啊，就是海绵城，雨水花园只是海绵城市建设当中的一个细胞，它就那么小，但是你要有很多个串联在一起，它才能够形成一个体系嘛。怎么翻？就是就雨水花园，它是相当于在海绵城市建设当中的一个小细胞。如果我们用一个比喻嘛，那需要很多很多的雨水花园串联在一起，就是你够大了，它才能够真正解决那个问题。就是我们说的雨水花园，它只能解决很小一部分，但是你要很多很多串联在一起，它才是说我们海绵城市的。
把那个摄像头对着你。Okay. So the lecture is answer the question. Basically, rain garden can help reduce the flood problem in the cities. The answer is yes, but rain garden is just a small scale in the sponge city. And if you wanna solve the big problem, it must be a lot of rain gardens combined together. Yeah, then we can solve the big problem in the sponge city. Hopefully we answer the question.
下面这个是说是什么
？So the next question is, what are the most problem of rainwater do you mean what do you mean the rainwater? You mean the rain
这个
garden or rainwater?
雨水这种雨水的最主要的问题是什么？
有什么问题？
有什么问题？
Could you please
Maybe.
clarify your question? Because our lecture is not quite really know what you are you are asking. What are the most problem of rainwater?
And mostly government，他是说，大多数这雨水花园是政府在做，是吗？是这意思吗？
嗯，
然后
Garden
有没有自己私人做的？
So do you mean any
reception
potential problem of
有没有
rain
这种
garden
有这种私人的参与？
有，应
or
该有
disadvantage？他想问雨水花园有没有什么不好的，有什么劣势？
劣势不好的。
对。
嗯，
Okay, I know your question. You wanna ask,
我也说不上来。
is there any disadvantage of the rain garden? Okay, let's think about
后
it.
面还有一个，就是他是后面这个说是，
这个问题跳过吗？
政府
跳过吗？
都是基本上
不是，这个问题能回答吗？
我不知道，他是说什么是
就是雨水花园有没有什么不好的一面？
不好的一面，就可能不好马上回答，可能我要查一下。嗯，
哦，
那你先回答后面，他还有一个问题，就是那个什么，是不是政府在起到一个很大的作用，还是什么呢？那个
So let's think about the question of the disadvantage, and we may answer the next question at first. Sorry for waiting. We are answering the question about mostly government plays big role in the implementation. What about the private section participation?
私人的是吗？
私人的有没有参与？
那个第一个项目就是那个阿尔卑斯那个，就是一个公司他自己做的。
你翻到第一页。Okay, so there is
这就是个
a
很小的
case
项目。
showing in the PowerPoint slide that private section also decide a rain garden instead of government.
比如说这个项目只有100平米，他也可以做，就是他这个公司自己做的。
这个是个什么项目啊？我没看到，我只看到一个图。
哎，
这是一个项目是吗？
是的，它很小，这个项目非常小。就一开始讲的这个，它就是这个阿普贝斯他自己，
哦
就是他公司门前的这一小块地，他
哦
就拿来做，这个就
OK
算是私人的。
So this company is called Up Plus S, yeah, and it's designed the rain garden in front of its company, and this is the project designed by the company itself instead of government. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the question. Hopefully, the lecturer answer your question. Okay, thank you. Can I ask a question? How can I get this? So yeah. All the participants, after filling in the attendance link, we will share in the chat room later. You will receive the certificate. But after 4 days learning, you will receive the certificate. Yeah, we will check your attendance. So if you wanna obtain the certificate, make sure the attendance.
Also, as 什么？
还有什么问题吗？ How to rain garden？所以那个
The
问题
landscaping
那个是
in
啥
the
意思？这个词什么意思？Colony
，Look 帮搜一下雨水花园有没有什么弱点
is a exam 什么？公寓
？How to
公
rain
寓楼前
garden
的
affect the
案例
案例有没有
有，但
公寓？
是没有英文版，我就没放。有，其实蛮多的，就是那种学生公寓的雨水花园也是有的，但是时间关系没有办法展现给大家看。
现在是回答哪一个问题啊？
是那
The
个
landscape in the community
colony 那个是什么意思？
公寓
哪里啊
公寓楼是吗？哦，有，但是就是时间关系没有办法展示给大家看。这个很多，在中国国内很多高校，有些高校嘛，它都会做。其实建院就有，建院就有雨水花园。它那个鲤鱼湖设计就是用的是雨水花园的一个设计理念嘛。你可以回答有，而且相当的校园都有，比如说我们学校就有一个
Okay.
雨水花园。
So we are answering the question, the landscaping in the condominiums is also an example of rain garden. The answer is yes. And we have the real case in Guangxi Polytechnic of Construction. Yeah.
还用耐旱用耐湿，
对对对，
就成本
费用嘛，对，主要可能就成本比较贵。
Okay, we
说那个雨水花园如何影响？
we are answering the question about if there is a disadvantage of the tree garden. Yes, there is a disadvantage, which is if you want to rebuild this area, the cost may be a little bit high. Yeah.
它会涉及到一系列的一些雨水。
Yeah, the disadvantage is about the cost. If you want to rebuild this area, it's kind of high.
然后回答那个问题呗，
哪个？
这个就是雨水花园
如何
如何
影
什么
响水循环？
影响水循环。
哪一些有水循环呢？
How do rain garden affect the
Affect the
water
water circle.
这个就说有点复杂，因为它是需要一套相应的设备，然后我放到这个雨水系统，这个给他看一下。
OK，
Oh, okay. So we are answering the question: how do rain garden affect the water cycle? Yes, the answer. Yes, the system is kind of complex. 然后呢？
这个就这个可以比如说其中一个比较小的，就是可以看一下，就是那个阿普贝斯它的这个雨水系统，就仅仅是100平嘛，它这个系统设置的也有很多，它有很多相应的，比如什么沉水井啊，什么滤水啊，就有点复杂，也难
So
记得。
yeah, you can check the slide. It shows the rainwater system designed by the Blast company. Yeah, it shows the case of how rain garden affect the water cycle.
还有那个黄浦江那个后滩公园那个也是一个案例，有点复杂，就
那可以再讲一下吗？再讲一下这个，就是因为我也看不懂它从哪到哪。
有点复杂。比如说它那个雨水从这个下来嘛。
Okay, so the blue arrow shows the rain going down.
经过这个梯田，然后来一条那个过滤池，这些水就收集到这个池子里面，它就
Okay.
进行有一套过滤系统。过滤
Okay,
完了以
so the
后
water goes through the terrace and go into the pool. Yeah, this is the pool.
对，然后它这个水循环以后，像他们公司比如说用来洗车啊、浇花，就可以重新用回这个水。
Okay, after filtering the water, and the water can be used for washing the car. Yeah, something like that.
那下一个问题，
还有像那个后滩的也是很明显，就后滩的公园，它从劣5类水变成3类水就可以循环，有点
太难了。
水有点复杂。
Okay, thank you for 如果没有问题的话，我们就问答就差不多。Okay, thank you for the question. Yeah, and if there's no more question, the Q&A session will be end. And our system has already sent the attendance check in the chat room. And if you want to obtain the e-certificate, please fill in the attendance check. 老师麻烦结束一下共享。
好，结束这里，停止。我可以停止，可以了吗？视频看。
Okay, so yeah. Fill in the attendance form and you can receive a certificate after the 4 days learning. And if you would like to learn more about the construction knowledge, feel free to join our WhatsApp group. And this is the QR code. And open your WhatsApp app and scan the QR code, then join our group. Follow us, you can know more activities in the future and learn more about construction.
So, and could you please turn on your camera?
So please turn on your camera. We have a group photo together. Yeah, please turn on your camera. We have this group photo together. Thank you for joining today's class, and tomorrow's class will be the same time. It's 3 p.m. Beijing time, GMT plus 8. And please adjust the time to your time zone. Okay, thank you for joining today's course, and please turn on your camera. We have the group photo together. 来吧，谁来截图？截图吗？先截上吧，结束。想截。哦，老师有点黑。老师，您换一个角度吧。会有点黑。Wait a minute, wait a minute. Thank you for waiting. 不是，就在那，然后用电脑转一下方向，因为后面是大白板。
哦，那我
对
转配合，
这样子太黑了。
这个看不到了。
我们稍微快一点，因为他们在线上等的。Sorry for waiting.
那我就
Sorry
暂
for
停。
waiting. 可以。Keep smile, keep smiling, keep smiling. Okay, I will count 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, 结了吗 Okay, one more. Oops. Oh, and my screen sharing. One more. We can like this. Okay. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, great. Okay, thank you for your coming. See you tomorrow, the same time. You are free to go. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. Bye. 谢谢。
Thank you. Bye. Instruct.
谢谢，拜拜。